You're standing in the middle of the living room, projector in hand, and you keep wondering, is this the screen that will finally make my movie nights look like a real theater? Or am I just throwing money at a fancy piece of fabric? I get it. The fear of splurging on a screen that ends up hiding behind a bright ceiling lamp or looking dull in a dim corner is real, and the market is full of options that promise perfect picture, but leave you with a lot of guesswork. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk through exactly how the Akia Screen's 101-inch floor-rising motorized screen behaves once it's in your space, what kind of setup you need, and whether its price tag actually lines up with the value you'll see on screen. First off, let's talk about the kind of room where a floor-rising screen makes sense. If you have a dedicated home theater or a spare room you can treat like one, the Akia 101-inch model slides out of a low-profile base and stands tall without any ceiling mounts or ceiling-suspended rails. That's a huge win for people who hate the idea of drilling into plaster or who have low ceilings that make a ceiling-mounted screen impossible. The motorized lift is controlled by a tiny remote, so you can pop the screen up at the start of a movie and tuck it away when you're done, keeping the room looking tidy and protecting the surface from dust when it's not in use. The screen's headline feature is its CineGrey 4D ALR, ambient light rejecting, material. In theory, ALR means the screen reflects light that comes straight at it from the projector while absorbing or diffusing stray light from windows and ceiling fixtures. In practice, I've seen that work best when you have a moderately controlled lighting environment, think blackout curtains, or at least a room where the biggest light source is behind you. In a completely dark theater, the difference is subtle, but in a living room where you might leave a lamp on for a snack break, the ALR coating can keep the image from washing out. That's the kind of real-world advantage you can actually notice. The whites stay crisp, the blacks stay deep, and the colors stay vivid even when the ambient light is at about 3040 lux, which is common in a family room with dimmed overhead lights. Now, let's be honest about the trade-offs. The screen is 101 inches measured diagonally, which translates to a 16:9 aspect ratio that fits most 1080p and 4K content without black bars. That size is generous enough to fill a wall in a medium-sized room, but it also means you need a projector that can fill that surface from the distance you have available. Most short-throw projectors can handle it, but a standard throw projector will need at least 8 to 10 feet of throw distance, and that's something you have to verify before you buy. I've seen people try to cram a 101-inch screen into a small bedroom and end up with a projector that can't get enough brightness, resulting in a dim picture that defeats the whole purpose of the ALR coating. One practical strength that often gets overlooked is the plug-and-play nature of the Akia unit. The motorized mechanism runs on a standard low-voltage power adapter that you can hide behind a piece of furniture or plug into a nearby outlet. There's no hardwiring required, no need to run cables through the floor, and the remote control is simple: up, down, stop, so you don't have to wrestle with a smartphone app that can be finicky. For people who want a clean look without the hassle of professional installation, that ease of setup is a genuine time saver. On the flip side, the motor does make a faint whirring sound when it raises or lowers, especially in a very quiet room. The noise is comparable to a refrigerator kicking on. It's not a deal breaker, but if you're planning a silent, cinema-style experience for a very quiet movie night, you might notice it for a few seconds while the screen is moving. It's also worth noting that the base of the screen is fairly heavy, so you'll need a solid floor that can support the weight without wobbling. If you're on a carpeted floor with a lightweight subfloor, you might want to add a stabilizing mat to prevent any slight shaking. Who should walk away with this screen? If you already own a decent projector and you're looking to upgrade the viewing surface, especially if you have a room where a ceiling mount would be a nightmare, the Akia 101-inch motorized screen is a solid match. It shines for people who value a sleek, low-profile look, who want the convenience of a motorized lift, and who have at least some control over ambient light, whether that's through curtains, blinds, or strategic lamp placement. Home theater enthusiasts who have already invested in a good sound system and seating will appreciate that the screen doesn't dominate the room when it's retracted, leaving space for a cozy,